Hey guys, what's going on? This is Cool Toys. What I have here on my table today is a little project. This is the pickup truck I was talking about in the last video. I have it here on my little table workbench. So, like I was saying, I wanted to remove the tailgate, and I did. I could not find my Dremel, but what I did find was the handheld hacksaw, and I have a hobby knife. So with the handheld hacksaw, I kind of went down here, but for the very bottom, you know, like that, like that. But I couldn't get this to go here, so I had to break out my multi-tool. It's a oscillating hand tool. This thing's massive. It's not really meant for like, small projects like it, but if in a pinch it did the job. It just went bzz, just buzzed right along the bottom, so I couldn't cut off the tailgate. So now the tailgate is removable. Like I was saying, I need to make some kind of hitch mechanism so I can lower the tailgate. Kind of just like that. There's this little gap underneath. So there you go. Now I can have a pickup truck with a lowering tailgate. So I can put equipment in there, troops, or if I actually want to build like a camper or something like that, I can put it on the back. So this is, a little bit of a ongoing project. I do need to make some more modifications, and like I was saying, I do want to paint this. So with the black color, um, I saw online, especially for if I want to do a woodlands color, I have green, I have a brown somewhere. This is like chocolate, but I think I have another brown and then the black. So I just need to take tape and like make a pattern of a camouflage pattern along here, so when I get my airbrush I can paint it. And I need to cover up the windows. I may cut open this door also because there is room back there, where you can put like more passengers, or I may just use it for cargo space. But this is a pretty cool truck, and you can do some modifications with it to make it more military like or fit it into your dioramas. So this is a video on my ongoing project for this pickup truck. We'll see where it goes later on in the future. So please comment, like, subscribe. This was Cool Toys. Later. Hey guys, what's going on? What I have here on my table today is the pickup truck. I've masked it off. I'm getting ready to do a little bit of auto body on it, get some spray, change this to a military pickup truck. I did cut off the rear tailgate. I believe I did a video on that earlier, so you can see. I didn't mask that off yet. I may just do it one solid color. But just like a real car in real life, you need to tape off the windows. And if you are going to do any kind of camouflage, um, especially if it's going to be 3-tone or 2-tone, you need to tape off the areas that you don't want to be painted, especially the wheels and rims. So hopefully this turns out pretty good. I'm going to get my airbrush out. Got my colors right here. Here's a green. Here's a like chocolate brown. I may have another brown. I may change the colors, but I'm going to try this one first. So plan on doing woodlands colors, green, brown, and black. And we'll see how this turns out. So stand by and I will come back to you later. Okay, guys, I'm back and have my airbrush ready. My paints, I have my green, brown, and black. It's already black, but I may have to add black to it. We'll see how it goes. This is the very first time I am doing this with all three colors and masking off a vehicle. I think we'll start off with the green. So with this airbrush, you just connect it like that. Open up the nozzles. I may have put a little bit too much thinner in this, which I just used water. Let's do some test sprays. Come on now. It's not coming out. There we go. Here's my green. It's brand new, so that's probably why it's not coming out right away. Here's a truck. Supposed to use, maybe kind of filter, ventilation, mask, eye protection, all that good stuff for safety purposes. But here we go. Let's do a couple sprays, go left to right. It's not really, I put way too much water, I think, in this mix. But, I'm going to do a couple coats. This is just the first one of green. I do have brown and black. Looks almost like Jurassic Park looking, from my point of view. Let's take that one off. And we'll do a little brown. I think, like I said, I put way too much water in this green mixture. This brown one, I know I just put a very little bit. But we'll see what happens if I spray this over the green. Okay. Kind of covering it up a little bit. I am going to do a couple coats, not just one or two. I want to give it a real military Jurassic Park look to it, like it's jungle camouflage, Vietnam type. Even, how G.I. Joe did their Tiger Force. If you wanted to do Tiger Force colors, you can do that. I really should be wearing gloves, things like that, but this is a acrylic paint, kind of just what you used in grade school to paint paintings. Not really harsh or strong chemicals in it, so you don't really have to worry too much like a spray paint. Once this dries and you remove these tape strips that I put on, the original black will be directly underneath it. So I probably won't even need to use this black. I actually have it left over from a project I did before. But the green and brown are the very new colors that I'm using, that I mixed today. So I'm going to pause the video, work on this a little bit, let it dry periodically, and come back to it. And we'll see how it turned out in the end. Stand by. Hey guys, so this is a little update. I finished spraying it for now. I know it looks like a complete mess, but I need to let it dry so I can see what areas I need to touch up, especially after I remove the tape. I removed the tape rather. um, I need to clean out these bottles. Did a little green, brown, and the black was the original color, but I had it on standby just in case I needed it in certain areas. So hopefully it turns out pretty good. I may need to work on my taping, cutting the patterns a little more realistic towards what they did during the late 80s and early 90s, lines in it and, circular motions and things like that. All this area is where the windshield would be, so you don't want those covered up. But Once it dries, like I said, and you remove the tape, then you'll definitely be able to see. I may try and use some paint brushes in the areas to touch it up instead of doing the spray from the air gun, because when you use a air gun spray, if you don't have it dialed in just right, and if you're a little too close or a little too far away, it just, it goes everywhere. So I really won't know or be able to tell until I let this thing fully dry. I have paint like all over my hands. I kind of just sprayed the back like almost all green, a little brown, because that doesn't matter. Like I was saying, I may put something in the back of this vehicle. Hopefully, it turns out looking like a real American military woodland camo paint job, World War II style, whatever. So you guys let me know if you have any experience airbrushing plastic vehicles, plastic models, any tips or tricks, anything I missed. I know some people, they really like sand it down with a real high grade sandpaper so that the paint will stick better, because if I really didn't sand this, I didn't sand it at all. And I know that with acrylic paint, you can just kind of like even remove it with your fingernail, but if you sanded it down, it may stick better into the plastic. But this is all a test, first time, first trying. So whoops, I dropped my camera. We'll see where it goes from here. I will keep you updated. Y'all let me know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe. Later.